Hi, my name is Patrick.halsall. We'll be looking at how the Fourth Amendment applies. Can it and should it be applied? The Fourth Amendment on network logging, phone network logging, or emails and chat messages. The Fourth Amendment, the constitutional right, it's a right that was um, assigned in the foundations of the United States, and it's basically a person to be protected against unreasonable searches. So if a cop knocks on your door, he can't do that because he needs a warrant from the, well, he can knock on your door, but to enter, to search and seize anything, any of your possession, he must need a warrant from a court. And here it says for probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. This includes and it consists of individuals themselves, houses, papers, and effects. The wording and effects is for anything. It's very broad. We're going to use utilitarianism. What is it? No act is right or wrong. Basically, we're not looking at the acts, but we're looking at the greatest amount of happiness from the greatest amount of people. So if there's lots of people with lots of happiness, and that number is greater than other people, some people with happiness, we're gonna be looking at the greatest amount. Why use this as an ethical test? Why use utilitarianism? It's easier to evaluate ethics and avoid what is laws and rights. The Fourth Amendment is a law and it's a right. But according to utilitarianism, it's not intrinsic. They are instrumental, but not intrinsic. Also, based on what we're learning in class, what confers a group's benefit? That is what ethics is about, isn't it? What confers a group's benefit? Um, so utilitarianism is around that area. Logging internet and phone activities. What's on the web, monitoring packets, phone activities around the tower to see if you're around there. Those are some of the things that citizens are facing and asking, should the Fourth Amendment be applied or how can it be applied? Is the activities of a person a part of their security? That's question number one. Question number two, does keeping logs of people's internet activities harm them or does it benefit them if the Fourth Amendment had to be applied? Which group is larger that has the greatest happiness if the Fourth Amendment is applied? So if the Fourth Amendment is applied, um, who's going to be the greatest amount, the greatest group? Who's going to be that group that has the greatest amount of happiness? That's utilitarianism. That's our ethical test. The answers? Like a paper, having a physical object of a phone or computer constitute as a belonging, but where they go to buy their services is public, or it's not really theirs. Their internet is free. The activity should be freely searched. For example, cops can continue on with an investigation to protect the people. So if they could get their hands on logging activities to for a case, then they can freely get it without a warrant. Who benefits from this? Who's the greatest amount of people? The greatest amount of people, the larger group of people that will be very satisfied with having the Fourth Amendment applied are people that want to be protected. People want to be protected, like people that want to be protected from terrorism in the airport, so TSA does whatever they want. Those are the people that this is going to happen people that want is they think it's okay for cops to get phone activities around a tower to see if they're around there on an investigation. It's a public domain. The phone is physically theirs, but the area is not. Retentions of email or chat messages. Is an email or a chat thread like a virtual paper, or who owns it? And who owns it? Excuse me, and who owns it? A person, employer's private domain, or webmail services? Which group is larger that has the greatest happiness if the Fourth Amendment is applied? Again, utilitarianism, greatest amount of people with the greatest amount of happiness. People usually treat emails or even snail mail, that's regular mail from USPS or whatever, as documents or something that belongs to them. Legally, the owner is whatever the terms of agreement is, and that user checks off on. However, there is still a sense of ownership that users have that makes emails or chats personal belongings. We're looking at the law here as instrumental but not intrinsic. That's utilitarianism. The terms of service is instrumental but not intrinsic. Is that ethical or not? Or, I mean, just because someone says it's theirs based on terms of service doesn't mean it's ethical based on utilitarianism. The regular email user, which is a larger group, gain greater happiness if they know that their email chats are being retained. They have to be notified by a warrant in order to retain their emails or chats messages. Seizures of cell phone recordings. Questions. Does an officer need to wait for a warrant in order to seize a cell phone recording of them? We see in the news many times of people recording cops. Can a cop take it from them? Or do they need a warrant? Which group is larger that has the greatest happiness if the Fourth Amendment is applied? The ethical test, which is the greatest group with the greatest amount of happiness. The answers to these questions, people in the public arena and not in the privacy of their homes record cops. They're outside in the streets. But we're not looking at that. We're looking at who the cell phone belongs to. And it belongs to the citizen. And the citizen gains the greatest amount of happiness if the Fourth Amendment is applied, for it protects them from seizures or searches. It belongs to them as a physical object. It is theirs. Thank you for watching. This has been Patrick Halsall.